Hello everyone. We hope that you're doing well at home here at the Paris Bourbon County Library. We have lots of activities that are virtual, but we do have a lot of activities to share, and I'm going to be sharing some additional crafts coming up through the holiday season. And this is one that I thought was a wonderful way of stepping up the look of some of the pumpkins that you can buy. So we're going to call this our embellished pumpkin session, crafting session. And the first thing I'd like to do is give you a list of the materials that you're going to need for the class, and then we'll talk about our procedure for decorating our store-bought pumpkins. These are really inexpensive. So that is the first thing on our list, which are these inexpensive pumpkins that you can buy. I think these came from Walmart. I think the Dollar Tree has pumpkins, but I think they're foam. These are more of the plastic. This one was 98 cents. I think these were like $3. If you're one that likes non-traditional colors for the holidays, then you're gonna love the activity that we do today. So we're gonna need pumpkins. We're gonna need scissors. I also purchased these self-adhesive strips of jewels. It doesn't matter what color because we're getting ready to paint over top of them. Although you could use them on the outside of the paint rather than underneath of the paint. But this was $1. I got that at the Dollar Tree. We're gonna need some paint. It doesn't matter what kind. Most of these are acrylics. All of them are matte finish. But those will work well. You could actually even spray paint these if you wanted to. I just found that maybe this might be a little bit easier and allows you to get maybe in those cracks just a little bit better. I've got several types of brushes here. I'm just going to use whichever one works for me today. And then we've got our little cups that we can fill up our paint with. And it's as simple as that. If you do need any accessories such as ribbon, and so forth, look about the home and see what you have already. If you don't want to buy more ribbon, correspond your paint color to existing ribbon that you already have. I love this little orange ribbon. It could even be a nice contrast to that turquoise. So let's talk about our procedure now that we've got. This is one time we're not going to need the glue gun unless we put our bow on the top. But we're going to talk about the procedure next. So what I simply did was I took the tag off of our Walmart pumpkins. You could buy these again anywhere. And I opened up my pack of self-adhesive jewels. And you can pull these off in strips. And I started at the very top close to the stem. And I simply laid them on there. They're going to stick. I want them to go all the way to the bottom. So I'm going to line up some more. And if you don't want to pull these apart, you can use your scissors to cut those apart. Now right now I'm going to do 4 sides. And there are little grooves on pumpkins anyway, and those are fun just to follow those little grooves. These will not come off. Even during the painting process, they stayed intact. I will squeeze those on there and make sure. You'll notice on this one, I've got 4. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. On this one, I went a little crazy, and there's probably 8 or 9 rows of the jeweling. Don't worry if you get them like crooked. Don't worry about that. We're going to paint over it. You're going to be surprised how pretty this looks. Now I use chalk paint, but you do not have to use the chalk paint. I like the finish of the chalk paint. But if you wanted to use just some of your acrylic tubes of paint, you could use those as well. So for this one, we've got 4 on there. I'll go ahead and do couple more rows. I'm trying to get it as close to the stem as I can. These come in all different colors, but for this, it did not matter what color it was because I was gonna paint over it. If you choose to paint your pumpkin first and then put your jewels on it, because they have some pretty jewels. Some of them look like diamonds, rhinestones. Then you could put them on the outside of your paint. It will stick easily to your paint. We're gonna do one more row here. Now you can paint these traditional colors, your oranges and so forth. But, you know, for this we're gonna do something a little different. I'm actually gonna use, I think, the green. This is chalk paint, by the way. And I'm going to use the foam brush. No need to water it down, just as it is. And starting at the top, I'm trying to avoid my stem. There's going to be a little surprise. I did use 2 coats. We're going to do something a little different with the stems here in just a moment. And again, that foam brush allows you to use your end, the tip of it. The orange will show through. If you wanted to be very precise about this, you could prime this first with white. But I see no need in that. I think just 2 or 3 coats of it will be fine because you can paint it so quickly. Now I just happen to have a hairdryer, so I'm going to dry this top part so you get an idea. Excuse me. You do want to make sure that chalk paint or any paint dries completely between layers. Now this is not completely dry. At the top, as you can see, it's still a little shiny. But on the orange part, I think we've got enough dry. Yeah, that we can go ahead. This one looks like it's only going to need 2 coats. Maybe a third. There's 2 coats. I'm going to give it one more time under the hairdryer, and then we'll get another coat on it and see how it's going to turn out. I'm pretty sure the turquoise has 3 coats on it. Now there's nothing to say, again, that you can't cover your stem with tape it off, and spray paint these. I just did not have a beautiful variety of colors in spray paint. It was your typical white, brown, black things that you might need a spray paint for. Or typical colors you might need spray painting. And there's our 3rd coat, and that's going to go over really well. Now I let mine dry overnight. And you can see right through here that we've got really good coverage. That's 3 coats, okay? Now I'm gonna put this one to the side. And I will definitely finish that one. I'll probably put these on display here in the library as well, but that's gonna be very cute. So we're gonna stop with the green paint on this one for right now. And we're gonna look at ways that we can still embellish the blue one. And that is a silver. Now it kind of looks white or gray, but it is a silver. I have a gold paint. And I'm not gonna need very much of it. Let me put my supplies over there. So I'm gonna put a little bit out, and with this brush, it's just gonna be easier to get to the stem. But I'm going to paint our stem gold. We're gonna add just a little bit more to it. This is gonna look adorable. There's that word again. I use adorable a lot, I found out. It's a good word. Now this has a little brown showing through on the stem, and I'm okay with that, but if you really wanted to load it up, I'd give it 2 coats of the gold. There's 1 coat. Now I'm going to dry this one and give it 1 more coat. That gold paint really makes it look so much better. You could use silver, any of your metallics. You could dip the end of it in glitter. That would give it even extra sparkle. Let's give this one 1 more coat. I'm just trying to avoid getting it on, obviously, the blue portion or the turquoise portion. I'm really pleased with how these turned out. Just something a little different, especially if you're not too crazy about fall colors. I love fall colors. But this is just too fun. And there they are with the gold top. Now you could use a ribbon, a bow on it, but again, this might be one of those pieces where it speaks for itself and it doesn't really need any further embellishments. I'm going to go ahead and paint the top of this one, our green one, and see how that gold contrasts with the green. Oh yeah, that's going to look great. And if you can tell, there is the green and the gold together. That's going to look really cute as a total ensemble or a group of accessories here. Okay, so a relatively inexpensive craft, a way to upcycle, or you could have had these pumpkins from last year and just decided that it was something you wanted to do a little different too. To upcycle and make into a little bit more glamorous type pumpkin. I hope you enjoyed this. If you decide to do these, please take a picture of them, post them on our Facebook page, and we'd love to share those. I hope you enjoyed this, and keep crafting.